can stand alone or with somebody else, or stand with all of us together. If you can believe in something bigger than yourself, you can follow the flag forever. They say it's just a dream, a dreamer's dream, that it's an empty thing that really has no meaning. They say it's all a lie, it's not a lie. I'm gonna follow the flag till I die. Into every life a little rain must fall, but it's not gonna rain forever. You can rise above, you can rise above it all. We will follow the flag together. We will follow the flag while the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. My home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. America, my home.
Good morning, distinguished guests, current and former shipmates, family and friends, CO, XO. Welcome to the retirement ceremony of Chief Paul Cobb. Today, we bid farewell to a shipmate as he departs the Navy after 24 years of honorable and faithful service to our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, please mute all electronic devices at this time. Please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the parading of the colors, national anthem, Pledge of Allegiance and Invocation. Military personnel covered. Ladies and gentlemen, the Naval Air Technical Training Center Performing Unit and the Quartet, a different arrangement. Parade the colors.
Stand by. Hold it. Hold it. And whoop. Forward. Whoop. Forward. Whoop. Color guard. Halt. Left turn. Whoop. Reason. Whoop.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of bursting here in the air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Port. Whoop.
Chief Cobb will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please help me. I pledge allegiance to the
To the
flag
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Don Smith will now offer the invocation.
Almighty Father of us all, humbly we ask our blessing upon this symbol of our land, our home, our liberty. More especially we beseech Thee to open our eyes that we may more fully enshrine within our hearts the heritage which is ours, the value of our liberties, the glory of that symbol before which we bow in reverence, only less than that which we kneel to Thee. Suffer us all to pledge anew in our hearts as we have pledged with our lips, an undying devotion to the flag which stands for the America we love. Amen.
Retire the colors.
Ready. Step.
Please be seated. It is my honor to introduce the officer in charge of the Naval Aerospace Medical Institute, Captain Richard Bean.
Good morning. Welcome to the retirement ceremony for Chief Hospital Corpsman Paul Cobb. Captain Cornforth, Captain Hodge, fellow Nomi staff, friends, and family. This is a fine Navy Marine Corps day. Each of us, as we transit through life, passes through a series of phases and transition points. Today is such a transition point for Chief Cobb. Yet I would offer that not all such transitions are equal, or it is hard to imagine leading a part of one's life which has spanned over 2 decades without being indelibly etched with the values and standards you have lived your life by for that long. Even more importantly, you will leave behind a legacy of individuals who have guided and provided an example which you will continue to be part of the Navy. Chief Cobb leaves behind just such a legacy. I've always found a good measure of quality and performance of an individual is the number of people who seek their counsel and who strive to have them working in their command. I cannot count the number of times that I received a request for Chief Cobb to assist, either temporarily or more frequently, permanently. Not a month went by that Mr. Curry, Lieutenant Commander Adams, did not offer comment that, you know, Captain Bean, Chief Cobb is assigned to the Nomi Buick. This transition is also one for the Cobb family. The dedication, devotion, and sacrifice that we speak of in Chief Cobb is also exhibited in that of his family. I know that Chief will reflect on that during his comments, but I'd like to say a personal thank you on behalf of the U.S. Navy and NAMI to Ms. Cobb and his family. He now falls solely under the cognizance of Commander-in-Chief, U.S. Navy House. I suspect most of you know who that is. It's not you, Chief. I'd now like to introduce the guest speaker. Having a few baby blue ribbons on my chest, I was pleased to see that Chief Cobb had chosen someone from our younger service. Master Sergeant Pease and Chief Cobb have been friends and colleagues, I would offer brothers in arms, for many years. I suspect that Master Sergeant has some stories about Chief Cobb and vice versa. Maybe we'll hear some of them today. So without further ado, Master Sergeant Pease.
You know, it was about a year ago today, or a year ago that Paul told me he'd be retiring. He wanted me to come here and speak at his ceremony. And I said, you know what? It's not a felony. You got it, brother. I'll do anything for Paul. I love it. And the second thing to come to mind is, okay, Brenda, bail me out. I was hoping I was going to hear that. What the hell were you thinking, Cobb? Well, you know, that's what she said 24 years ago when Paul came home and said, hey, honey, I just joined the Navy. What the hell were you thinking, Cobb? You know, I guess he forgot you should have a family discussion before you do these things in life. You know, I guess, I don't know, one of these days. I'd like to say that, you know, Paul has learned his lesson and discusses things before he does them, but I'm not thinking that's happening, so. And evidently that night, Brenda was at least one rum and coke past that, what the hell are you thinking, Cobb? So I'm here doing the best I can, and it really is an honor to be able to do this for you, Paul. Thank you. I met Paul back in the 90s, back in, I worked in the wood shop in Iceland. I was an instructor in there, and I don't know when or where Paul learned his cabinet making. But when he came into Iceland, one of the first things I remember him making was a maple entertainment center, a solid piece of furniture, drawers and doors, so it was by no means a beginner's piece. It was something that really took some skill to do. And he's got it about done, and then I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Cobb? And he's making banding to put around as a accoutrement on the furniture. And I'm like, what are you doing? He says, well, it's feathers. And I'm like, okay, why are you going to risk a beautiful piece of furniture to add something pretty that really doesn't add value? And then we were talking, and I come to find out that he's a part Cherokee, so he was showing his heritage in what he was making. He wanted to make an heirloom piece of furniture that you guys are going to have to fight over in a few years, hopefully quite a few, but he was reflecting his heritage. Paul always had his priorities straight. You know, he knew what was right. Slowly but surely, I warmed to him. I'm not the quickest person to just come out and give you a hug and everything. Nothing personal, Paul. But anyhow, we spent about 4 years there working in the wood shop together. We made crafts together. There was lots of times where he'd have a skill I'd need, or I'd have a skill he'd need, and we'd share work and stuff. We ended up making some fine furniture together. Some of the finest pieces of furniture that I've ever built were things that I collaborated with Paul on. You remember that harvest table? 2-inch thick table. I still drilled a hole through the tabletop, but Paul fixed that for me. You know, working with Paul, it was really nice because he made me, Paul set the standard. He knew you did what was right. You did what was right when nobody was looking. You always did it right. He always expected the best out of everyone. He didn't talk down to you. You gave your best and he gave you his best. So now I'm back in the spring of 2008 and I'm going, feeling sorry for myself. What am I going to talk about? Because, I mean, the military retirement, when you get there, you're going to realize that this is as big of an event as a birth of a child, the institution of marriage, a death in the family. It's a very big deal, and it's just something I didn't want to screw up. So I'm feeling sorry for myself, and we get a reality check at work. There was one of my co-workers' sons, Staff Sergeant Travis Griffin. He was killed on the 3rd of April in Iraq. This guy, he was a Air Force kid on his 4th tour in the combat area. He'd been once to Afghanistan, 3 times to Iraq. Why did he keep going back? He was taking care of his troops. He knew that he had to keep going back because he didn't want one of his guys to get hurt coming up short.